Hey everyone, it's Matt here, your Gainesville realtor and community advocate. Can you believe 2024 is behind us already? What a year it was. While it's always useful to briefly look back to where you've come from, we want to continue to look ahead. From helping families find their dream homes to successfully selling property to supporting our veterans, first responders, and teachers and nurses through my Gainesville Alachua County Heroes program and striving to make an impact. Stick around, we dive into the wins, the challenges, what's ahead for 2025. Plus, I'll share some insights into the Gainesville market and tips for buyers, sellers, and investors in the coming year. Let's celebrate 2024 and gear up for an even better 2025. If you're considering a move in 2025, connect with me below by clicking on my calendar, dropping me an email, or give me a quick call. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let's get started. Into the slides, I just want to point out a couple things when we review the 2024 stats, is that some stats provided by floridarealtors.org considers the Gainesville MSA area or metropolitan statistical area to be Alachua and Gilchrist County. And for purposes of when I am computing statistics, I just look at Alachua County. So there's not really a huge difference there, but it's important to point out. First, with the overall stats, I'm looking at 2024 as a whole versus 2023. And for the average single-family home price, we saw an increase of about 3.5%. On a price per square foot basis, an increase of about 1.4%. And then for median prices, we saw a much smaller, less than 1% increase, respectively. Next, for the number of closed sales, we kind of see the traditional peaks and valleys that are seasonal influence, where beginning early in the year, we start seeing an increase and peak in the early summer and then trail into the end of the year, bottoming out in December, January. And the same thing repeated in 2024 to where we are now. Next up, coming out of COVID-19 in late 2022 into 2023, the active inventory, you can see these numbers generally increasing over the last couple of years. Which indicates a little bit of a slowdown in the market. And if we look at this as a percentage change year over year, we can see the most recent report for November 2024 up 15%, and for respectively previous months up 22%, up 35%. So generally a slowing down of the market. Average sale price has been quite erratic, but generally trending higher. As you can see, we're up on an average basis just under $440,000 currently. Median sale price, arguably a better statistic to measure, you can see has been more flat, and in the most recent rating, November 2024 at $355,000. That's a year-over-year change of minus 4.9%. Total dollar volume of sales here kind of mimics the closed sales numbers, and again with the peaks in the summer, troughs in the winter, so this still kind of plays out the way you would expect. And lastly, the median time to get to a sale. You can see these numbers increasing over time. The most recent rating for November, 111 days. That's an increase of 63.2% year over year. You can see the beginning of the measurement here from December was 72 days. Earlier this week, the Alachua County Property Appraiser had its annual meeting with local real estate agents and those interested in real estate. And this slide shows some of the construction highlights for the year. You can see an addition of $693 million of value added to the tax rolls in 2024. The big winners obviously are going to be in Gainesville, and then Newberry, City of Alachua, High Springs, and so on. Very interesting information. Before we talk about 2025 and ahead, it's probably important to point out the difference between looking at market stats versus what comps are. Comps are useful when we are looking to determine what price to value your property at before putting it on the market, or if you're on the buyer side of that equation, trying to determine if the price represented is an accurate valuation. Whereas the market stats try to give us a reading on what the market is doing and where we think it is headed. The housing market is evolving, and Gainesville is no exception. Rising mortgage rates, now over 7%, have cooled buyer enthusiasm compared to the 3% rates of early 2023. However, this shift creates more opportunities for buyers to negotiate and explore options, especially with inventory on the rise. Gainesville's real estate is seeing a more balanced dynamic after years of intense competition. So despite affordability challenges, Gainesville remains a hotbed of growth. We're getting driving factors of major employers like the University of Florida, UF Health, the City of Gainesville, HCA North Florida, and others. These institutions continue to attract professionals and families, fueling housing demand. And while prices in Florida have appreciated for years, experts predict slower growth or even price stabilization, which presents potential buying opportunities. So sellers who have held off during the market frenzy are now re-entering, and that adds to inventory and gives buyers more choices. That said, Gainesville's enduring appeal, thanks to its educational opportunities, healthcare access, and quality of life, ensures steady demand. Coupled with Florida's retirement-friendly tax policies, the area remains a desirable destination. New construction may also help alleviate inventory pressures, but rising building costs and supply chain issues do pose challenges. Overall, Gainesville's demographic and economic growth signal long-term price stability, even with short-term shifts. So, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, this could be the year to act. I invite you to connect with me below. In the description, you'll find a link to my calendar, my email address, and my personal cell phone number. So if you want to know more information about moving to Gainesville or your property that you have here in Gainesville, feel free to contact me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.